Kay, and I am back with another Color Craze combination for you guys. This is the combination that Janet and I have picked for today. I am also combining this with Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches. This is the sketch that I will be working with, and it was created by Sherry Rubini. I am also joining Rebecca and Miranda for Paw Your Way into Our Hearts. So I have a couple of this really cool mesh ribbon and this really cool burlap. These were both gifted to me by a subscriber, and I so appreciate it because I absolutely love playing with this stuff. I also have a random piece of corrugated cardboard that was like a throwaway roll. So I thought, I'm grungy, so I'll use it anyways. Have my title going on, as well as a couple paw prints that I cut out on my Cricut. I have this leftover piece that has been sitting on my desk, which is actually a random little piece that was cut off of a larger piece. I don't throw anything away. From Stampin' Up! Early Espresso, I have this beautiful braided ribbon. I don't think it's braided. Anyways, it's a gorgeous ribbon. And then this one does not have a company's name. It's either Close to My Heart or Stampin' Up! Came in a kit. And it's almost like, tweed. I don't know, you guys. I'm not a ribbon fanatic. I have some corduroy brads. I've got ribbon on the brain that I just stuck to a Project Life card so they look pretty. And then I have 3 Flair from Dottie About Flair because they matched my my color scheme. And then I have 2 adorable photos of my puppies. Oh my gosh, so cute. I also have a cream cardstock from Close to My Heart. It's French vanilla. And then some Heidi Swap Color Shine in bronze that I have very little left. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and just use it up, because if not, it sits on a shelf, and because I'm so afraid to use it up. So what I'm going to do is try this little packaging technique. And at first I thought, oh my gosh, that's gray. How on earth is it gray? Because I didn't shake the bottle up. So I'm going to go ahead and shake it up. Really, really good. And then try it again. And it turns out gray again. So I'm thinking that it's a gray base with a bronze shimmer to it. So I'm going to go ahead and just splatter, because that's what I want, is that bronze rather than the gray. And most of it will end up being covered up. Anyways, all right. So I'm going to move on to my cardboard and go ahead and grab some Early Espresso. Or Ground Espresso, I apologize. Early Espresso is Stampin' Up. Ground Espresso is Tim Holtz. And I'm going to actually just highlight the highs and lows. Well, actually just the highs of this cardboard, because it just looks a little plain Jane right now. I did scruff up the edges because I wanted the torn edges to be a little bit more defined than what they were. And like I said, I'm just rubbing over all the high points. So that way I get that the deeper cardboard, but yet the cardboard color is still in the grooves portion. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of water, so that way the Distress ink does what it does, and it is just fantabulous, you guys. It looks awesome when it's done, but I'm not sure if even the close-ups catch it. I love how it looks. So these are just a couple of photos of my puppies, and every time I turn around, everywhere I go, they are right behind me, laying down, chilling out. I went downstairs, and there they are hanging out at the top of the stairs, waiting for me to come back up. I go upstairs to go do laundry, and there they are right upstairs, hanging out, waiting for me to be done. I go to my craft room, and there they are laying all over my floor. It's like I have little tiny rugs. They're not tiny. They're big dogs. It's like tripping over rugs, my sea of dogs everywhere that I go. The only thing that this is missing is when I go to stand in the kitchen to watch my kids get on the bus, is they are sitting right there, like on my feet, waiting for me to do something. Like, where are we going to go? Because I know you're not staying in the kitchen, type of deal. So I just got back from, I think, a 5-day trip. And this is what they do every time I come back, is they just follow me everywhere. And then once they realize that I'm kind of home for a couple days, then they stop following me, and one will go lay downstairs in a deep dark corner and hang out there until he wants to be let outside. And then the other one is Roscoe, my big black lab. and he goes everywhere with me. He follows me throughout the entire house, no matter where I go, and what I do. He is right there. So he always follows me around. But the German Shepherd crossbreed is definitely my husband's dog, and he does not follow me anywhere. He only comes and says hi when he wants outside, and that's it. So anyways, that is my puppies. But like I said, as soon as I come back from a trip, they act like, oh my God, where have you been? And they just want to make sure that I stay in the house long term before they go back to their normal routines. Okay, so because of this really awesome textured photo that Janet and I have decided to use as our color craze combination, I decided to bring all that texture, not only just the color, but the texture into my layout as well. So I really do like all of this texture. I really just had a blast putting this layout together and coming up with this combination and using all these browns for, I have one brown dog and one black dog, but it still is just, I just loved it. I had a blast with this. Of course, I used the cardboard in place of the banner strip that is in the sketch. And then I did ribbon strips instead of paper strips, because why not? I've got tons of ribbon, you guys. I find every excuse possible to create with my ribbon. In fact, I've been using them on banners. Like I've been making a lot of I don't know if they're called banners or buntings, or I'm not sure, for home decor, and just using rolls and rolls of ribbon in between all of the pieces. So that way I use it all up and it's yay, out of my stash. Oh my gosh. But I have several more to, that it's going to be a long time. It's going to be a lot of banners to be making to get rid of all that stuff. So anyways, I am using tear and tape, for this. This is actually Tonic Studios tear and tape that came in my Tonic Studio craft kit. That I am using to adhere my ribbon. I just am too impatient to wait for liquid glue. Plus the fact that some ribbon, and I can't say that it is all the same for all, but sometimes you get that seepage coming up through your ribbon, and then you have a hard spot that never dries, that never goes away. It always looks like you have a liquid spot on your ribbon. And so I decided, nope, I don't want that. So I just used tear and tape. And then of course, for that remnant that I had left over, I went ahead and used glue dots at not every intersection, but at the two ends, and then every third one or so. I only did like 2 or 3 along the length, and only because of the fact that it had a weird bump in a couple spots, and I didn't want that bump to be visible. I definitely wanted it to be flat on the page. Okay, so now I'm going to fill in my paw prints with this awesome burlap that is dark burlap. I love this stuff, you guys, and it cut out so well because I wanted my puppy paw prints to have that texture like paw prints have. And so I love the way that these turned out. I took out all that fussy cutting, you guys. That's so boring. Took it all out, but I definitely just love how those little paw prints turned out. Absolutely. Again, they were just images that I found on the Cricut, and I manipulated them to where I got what I wanted, and then, ran with it. And yeah, just that's it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put the paw prints in roughly the same spot as the little open flowers are on the sketch. And of course, they're not going to be identical, but they still are where they're supposed to be represented by the sketch, right? Ish. And I make sure that I put enough glue down for them to hold. And surprisingly enough, they held really well and really fast too. So I was very shocked on that. I don't know if it's because of the paper, but when I put the paper to the burlap, they held really, really well. And then when I put the burlap, and added more glue to the paper, they did really well as well. Now, of course, I did, jelly side down. I dropped it on my photo and thought that I was going to have to replace my photo. But in all honesty, I, kind of dabbed at it with my finger, not rubbed, but dabbed at it so that way it would dry faster. And by the time I was done with this entire layout, I totally forgot because I can't see that I dropped glue on my photo. So I'm not even going to bother replacing the photo. I am A-okay with that because I can't see it. So awesome. Worked out in my favor. The reason why my title is clingy is, you guessed it, my dogs are very clingy when I come back from, a long trip, which, for them, a trip to the grocery store is a long trip. You have to understand that dogs don't like being left alone. That's probably why we end up with two. But still, it's one of those things that, as soon as my kids walk out of the house, my dogs are kind of, they're not very verbal, but they're kind of whining, and you can hear it just very under their breath type of deal. Like, oh my gosh, they left again. Like, how dare they go to school type of deal. And so, yeah, it's just one of those things that I realize that, but when I'm gone for days is when they get this clingy, is when they're just, I turn around and, oh, there's a dog. I turn around and, oh, there's both the dogs. Oh my gosh. Just everywhere. And it takes about 2 or 3 days for them to not be like this and realize that I'm not going to go anywhere, anytime soon. So, also with these, brads, I am taking the brads and removing the prongs, so that way I can just use some glue dots. That way I don't have to put any holes in my papers or in my background. I just wanted to be able to, put the brads down without having to poke the holes. And then, of course, the background is looking too white, so I'm going to go ahead and use ground espresso again and just rub my blending tool down the edge of the outside, along the outside edges. And then I'm going to take some more of that bronzing Heidi Swap Color Shine and go ahead and just splatter it all over. This way it looks like it was under the project as well as above the project, because I went on top of the cardboard as well. So I really do, I really love this bronze. I wish I could find that same color again, but it's okay. I can move on. I can find other colors, and move on. But yeah, it's almost gone. Totally. But it just dries such a beautiful goldy brown. It's hard to explain, but it's gorgeous. So that's the layout for you guys today. Thank you so much. I had so much fun playing with all of these fibers. Before the question is asked, yes, it is an uber thick layout. Yes, it will go into my album. I am A-okay with thick pages. I am okay with that, you guys. So yeah, it just will go in right after I come back from, I believe this is my Arizona trip that I went to last year. So that's where it will go in my album as soon as it is fully dried. All those little drops on there are all dried out. But yeah, other than that, I had a blast. Be sure to check out Janet Fritz and what she is doing with this color combination today. I'm kind of hoping that she gets the fiber feel too. Thank you, Sherry, so much for sharing your talent with us and letting us create with your sketch. Be sure to check out the playlist as well as the Facebook group for Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches, and go and check out Miranda and Rebecca's layouts. See how they are honoring their puppies today. I absolutely love joining these gals for this cool little video, and I will check y'all later. Bye!